Is it okay if I like smile or like because okay. Okay, I'm thinking too much. Okay. Hi, I'm Ida. I'm from Turkey, and my pronouns are they, them. A trans individual in the Turkish society gets very different reactions from the people, because for some parts of the society, being trans is very normal because we have very famous figures in the media, some actresses, some singers, and they've been in the media very visibly. For example, Bülent Ersoy is one of them, and Bülent Ersoy has been famous for a lot of years, like for very long, for quite a while. So even though for some conservative people, even though they are conservative, because they've seen these individuals, being trans is just something that needs to be fixed, but like the treatment is transitioning, so it's okay to transition in their eyes. Right now in Turkey, one of the main issues we have is that the rule of law is kind of no longer being upheld. So anti-gender rhetoric also contributes to that, like with no crime gets punished, so hate crimes also don't get punished. So it affects everyone's daily life in a very like direct way. Like people get attacked. Like just this morning, a group of trans women were taken into custody by the police force, even though there was there was no crime being committed. Like people were just walking out on the streets. So I would say the bigger issue is that there's no rule of law, and like we have laws that protect the people, but because the rule of law is not being upheld, then the discrimination gets tenfold for the minorities. So trans people are affected disproportionately, and the police regularly raid, especially trans sex workers' houses, trans women's houses. They get kicked out, we get attacked on the streets, and it's the perpetrators don't get punished for it. One of the best things about the movement that we have in Turkey is that the feminist movement and the queer rights movement, they go very hand in hand. They've been in coalition for a very long time, so we all look out for each other in these two separate movements. But it's hard to achieve concrete results because the NGOs or like these movements, these protests are not taken seriously by the government, or at least they are taken seriously, but they're only seen as threats. So the government doesn't really do what the people want.
This is the same rhetoric Turkey heard a couple of weeks back when President Erdogan was campaigning for a re-election. Despite the arrests and the crackdown, the activists are still standing strong.
Right now, it's a bit hard to imagine a bright future for us because of the draft bill that's going to the parliament. Like that's a very scary bill that we have approaching us, and we are not sure that it won't be accepted. It might be accepted by the parliament, and if that happens, any kind of queer existence will become punishable by law. But there's the way I approach activism or like any kind of like political movement is that I don't think about hope, because we keep working not because we are hopeful, because we have to, in a way. Like someone has to keep on fighting, and as long as there's some like, obviously there is this conflict that is currently going on, like in the government, in the society.
Regardless of the challenges and the detentions, this year's Pride March started and finished earlier than expected. There were no street clashes or police violence. What shined through was the resilience of the protesters, the people campaigning for a cause, for recognition.
So I don't really approach activism or like any kind of political movement in terms of whether I have hope for it, or like I don't get my driving force from my hope. I think hope isn't that important, because what matters is that you keep fighting, and what matters is that you find whatever it is that sources this drive to keep on fighting. And for me, I usually get my drive to fight from my anger and like my determination to see that things will change. So I wouldn't say that I am hopeful, because things are looking very dire. But that never means that we're gonna stop fighting to change things. As long as there's a conflict, which there is now, between the society, the people, and the government, like all these oppressive bills that they're trying to face, and whenever they make the police raid our homes or like beat us up out on the streets, there is a conflict, like there is a tension, and always like in the history of people, this tension always breaks. And like all oppressive governments, they always topple. I'm not sure if I will live long enough to see that. It might not be in my lifetime, but it will topple. Times will change. And I don't have any doubts about that. So that's what makes me like keep on fighting and keep on going.